Did you know that the author who has sold over 350 million books worldwide, Stephen King, was once so defeated that he threw his first novel in the trash? Yes, you heard that right, in the trash. Today, I'm going to tell you the incredible story of Stephen King, a story of rejection, poverty, and despair that almost broke him. But he didn't give up. Let's dive in. The year was 1970. Stephen King was an English teacher in a small town in Maine. He was earning just $6,400 a year, barely enough to survive. His wife Tabitha worked at Dunkin' Donuts. They had 2 small children. They lived in a trailer that was freezing in winter and suffocating in summer. But Stephen King had a dream. He wanted to be a writer. Every day, he would teach at school, come home and take care of the kids, and when everyone was asleep, he would sit at an old typewriter. His writing space was squeezed between the washing machine and the dryer. There was no fancy office, no comfortable desk, just a man and his dream. He wrote short stories and sent them to magazines, hoping someone would give him a chance. But what came back were rejection letters, one after another. Do you know how many rejection letters he received? King himself said that he hammered a nail into the wall and started impaling rejection slips on it. Eventually, the nail couldn't hold the weight anymore. There were just too many rejections. He had to get a bigger nail. Can you imagine that? A nail full of rejections, and still, he kept going. But he didn't quit after every rejection. He wrote a new story and sent it out again. He believed that one day, someone would say yes. However, in 1973, something happened that almost ended everything. That same year, Stephen King started writing a new novel called Carrie. It was a horror story about a bullied teenage girl with telekinetic powers. But from the very beginning, he doubted himself. He thought, I'm a man. How can I write from a teenage girl's perspective? Will people even like this? He wrote the first 3 pages, then stopped. This isn't good, he thought. This will never work. And then, he crumpled those pages and threw them in the trash. Yes, Stephen King, who would later become the king of horror, threw away what would become his first major success. He gave up on it, he walked away, but the story doesn't end there. That same day, his wife Tabitha pulled those pages out of the trash. She read them and told him, finish it, this is good. She encouraged him, gave him insights about writing female characters, and gave him the confidence he needed. Sometimes, all we need is one person who believes in us. Stephen King finished the novel and sent it to publishers. The first publisher rejected it, the second rejected it. The third rejected it, the fourth rejected it. In total, 30 publishers rejected that manuscript. 30 times, he heard the word no, but the 31st publisher, Doubleday, accepted it. They gave him a $2,500 advance, which was about $17,000 in today's money. For Stephen King, this was huge, but the real twist was still to come. A few months later, Doubleday sold the paperback rights for $400,000. Stephen King's share was $200,000. Overnight, the struggling teacher who lived in a trailer became a successful author. Carrie was published in 1974 and became an instant bestseller. Then it was made into a Hollywood film, and Stephen King's life changed forever. After Carrie came Salem's Lot, then The Shining, then The Stand, It, Misery, The Green Mile, and countless other masterpieces. Today, his books have been translated into more than 60 languages. Over 100 films and TV shows have been adapted from his work. But he always says, I didn't succeed because I was gifted. I succeeded because I didn't stop. In one interview, he said, talent is cheaper than table salt. What separates the talented individual from the successful one is a lot of hard work. Stephen King still writes every single day, 7 days a week, no holidays. His rule is to write at least 2,000 words a day. He says, writing is like a muscle. You have to exercise it every day. And this discipline, this consistency, is what made him a legend. So what can we learn from Stephen King's journey? First, failure is not the end, it's just a step toward success. Stephen King was rejected 30 times, but he tried a 31st time. We often give up after 1 or 2 failures, but remember, every rejection is actually bringing you closer to your goal. Second, the people around you matter. If Tabitha hadn't pulled those pages out of the trash, if she hadn't believed in him, we might not know Stephen King today. Surround yourself with people who believe in your dreams and push you forward. Third, consistency is key. Stephen King didn't become an overnight success. He wrote for years, day after day. Success comes from persistence, not from luck. Fourth, believe in yourself, but also listen to feedback. When Stephen King thought his writing wasn't good, he could have stopped forever. But he listened to his wife's feedback and kept going. Trust yourself, but stay open to the wisdom of those who care about you. And most importantly, don't give up on your passion. Stephen King wrote in poverty, he wrote through rejection. He wrote through doubt, because he loved writing. Whatever you love doing, keep doing it, no matter how hard things get. Your circumstances don't define your destiny. Your persistence does. Stephen King once said, "You can, should, and if you're brave enough to start, you will." If you're struggling with something today, if you feel like your dreams won't come true, remember this. A man who lived in a trailer, whose book was thrown in the trash, became one of the most successful writers in the world. Because he didn't stop, you shouldn't stop either. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, share it with someone who needs to hear this, and subscribe for more inspiration. Remember, your rejection today could be your masterpiece tomorrow. Keep going, keep fighting, keep creating.
Hit the subscribe button.
Thanks for watching.